was fortunate to run for Coach Ackerman 2 years ago and the 4 previous years before that. As a runner, I've got the 4th fastest time in Sandy Valley history. I was able to go to the cross-country state meet 3 times, hold a track record for the school, and in the spring I'll be running the Boston Marathon. So I've been around the block a little bit. I'm not a professional or an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been around the sport a little while, and what I had to share with you today I hope can really benefit you for the race ahead. So here you are, and I was thinking about it, the time I'd spent with Coach Ackerman and the running that I'd done. I was thinking there's got to be a good video, a good illustration out there that'll fit. So if nothing else is motivating today, I hope this video can teach you something. Let's see if I can get it to play. And I know that might seem like it doesn't perfectly fit, but really it's a simple thing. I could just stand up here and tell you guys, you guys are good enough runners, just run fast. But let's think about how conceptually it fits. Running, really, there's a lot of people who try and complicate it, but it's really a simple thing, especially where you guys are in this stage of the game. You're training. I can tell you from experience, your training is solid. It's fantastic. There's a lot of coaches out there who don't understand their training and are training their runners, and maybe they've reached this point just based on talent. But you guys have talent and solid training, and together that's going to make you run fast. Your strategy, I know Coach Ackerman's talked with you about strategy, so your strategy is solid. You can stick with whatever he tells you, and that's going to be right. And the small stuff, I'm sure he's got an itinerary planned that's been planned for a couple months. I'm sure you've got the rest of today planned, and tomorrow planned, and the day after that planned. You guys are set. There's nothing really to be frustrated about or to overthink. It's simple. But really, what I want to talk about today is that the difference between a good race and a great race that you can have this Saturday is going to lie not necessarily in these items, because these are all already taken care of. It's going to be about winning the mental battle. And I'm going to take you to a quote that I heard my junior year. I heard from a freshman, and I'll bring up the slide. A guy by the name of Josh Schleppe. If you've ever run against Josh, Josh is a good guy, and you can't mistake the hair. But I'll never forget. Sophomore and junior year, we made it to state, and I'll be honest, I really didn't run that well. But Josh, however, did. Especially my junior year, he ran particularly well, and he ran even better the next year. He's going to run well this year too. But I remember coming in the finish, and he just blew by me in the last 300. He'd run a great race. It was a great end of season for him. And he said to me after the race, as I congratulated him, "There's no pain at the state meet." And I thought to myself, what is this guy talking about? This race is just as painful as any other race. But there was something there to it. There's no pain at the state meet. And we look into what it really means. It's not really that you're blocking out the pain, but you're deciding, you're getting in that mental mindset that there's no pain. Because I can tell you, looking back, I don't remember the pain. Like I remember that it was painful and there was some level of discomfort, but I can't be like, man, I've been physically re-experiencing that pain again. It's not there. And I know maybe, have you guys seen Peaceful Warrior? Has Coach showed you that movie? A big thing, a part of having that mental tenacity is taking out the trash. I know there's probably been a lot of people talking to you, a lot of chatter, people throwing times around, people saying stuff. Don't listen to it. Even don't invest in it, because that stuff is just gonna clog up. You're gonna remember it, and this is really your opportunity mentally to make the decisions that are going to leave a lasting impression. What you're going to do this year really determines or can determine what the next years are going to look like for you guys. So moving along, we talk about knowing your opponent, and the best I guess illustrations that I can use are myself, because that's who I know. But having a marathon mindset, mentally it's hard to say, man, I'm in pain, or I'm doing this and I have to run faster, I have to keep passing people, I have to keep on going. I ran the Columbus Marathon, not this year, but last year. And I tell you what, that was one of the most mentally grueling, from a lot of races, mentally grueling experiences of my life. And I got to around 20 miles and my legs were just like on the verge of cramping, right on that brink. And it's like, man, I got 6 more miles to go, and I had no idea how I'm going to do this. And a lot of it is just saying, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep passing people, and I'm not going to stop. And that's kind of the attitude you got to be in. And if you look at like the Olympics, remember watching the Olympics? It's not like a strain. You're not like screaming to yourself. It's still controlled. It's still smooth. But the face, you know, inside here, the battle's going on. That's where the battle's raging. It's not expressed, but you know it's happening. Like, good runners are kind of like, they're like ghost-like, but it's happening. That's where the warfare is really going down. I think of I use the sleepy negotiator. Especially, you'll find when you go to college. College is a great experience if you choose to do that. But the one thing, sleep is like, it's so hard to get. And sleeping me, I think, can negotiate world peace. It's mental toughness, or in this case, like trying to get out of bed. Sometimes trying to just overcome a mental barrier that is really tough. So you gotta understand that mentally, it's not going to be easy to say, hey, I need to keep going. Now, granted, you guys have a good track record, which is good. So you've already started to initiate this, but the state meet is the pinnacle. There's a lot more elements, and a lot of it is just remembering. I'm going to be locked in, I'm going to be focused, and I'm going to go in with the right attitude. So I guess, kind of in conclusion, and understanding once it clicked for me, what happened was senior year. I qualified. We were running. The team was also qualified, and I tried to go. Like, mentally, I felt like I was ready. At the mile mark, I was in a decent position. Tried to go. Just passed a few people. They passed me back. Nothing really happened. I re-entered the stadium. Tried to go again. Passed a few people. They passed me back. There's really, and at the 2 mile and at the 2.5, and it was just like, this race was just kind of falling apart. And mentally, I was starting to check out, and just being like, just trying to come to terms with, wow, this is really going to be a bum race. And I was re-entering the stadium. It was like, Kelsey, 600, 800 meters left. It's really, John, this is going to be a great course. Be excited for it, but know that Scioto Downs was amazing. And they said I entered the stadium at like 48, and somewhere along the line, I was kind of met with the decision that I was going to have to go. Ackerman screaming at me, colors of jerseys to go after, and it just clicked that, man, I've got to go. And I went, and it clicked. And it sounds cliche, it sounds stupid, but there really wasn't any pain. I just kept going, kept charging, and I wish I would have charged sooner, because I passed Coach Ackerman. I couldn't hear him anymore. There was the fans and everybody, and I just remember looking up. There's like 50 yards left, and there's nobody else left to pass. 16 people I was able to get, and I wish that could have made that decision earlier, and I tried to. So that's really what I'm kind of telling you. It's really at this point just icing on the cake. Don't worry about the girl stumbling around. But the state meet, you're going to come to the finish line. You're going to come to a point in the race, and mentally you're going to have to decide. There's no pain at the state meet. There's nothing that I'm going to remember that I'm going to have to re-experience. I'm going to have to invest now, and I'm going to have to be in this moment. I can't check out. I have to keep going and to push ahead, because you guys have some big goals. And I've heard them, and I'm really excited for you. John, what I can tell you individually is that don't let anyone tell you how fast you can run. Not even you. Don't be limited by that. Okay? Your mind is going to try and say, man, I can't run any faster than this, or this is my limitations. Don't listen to that. Okay? You've been breaking barriers all year. Okay? Keep going. Just keep going. Just keep pushing yourself. Tell yourself, there's no pain at the state meet. There is no pain at the state meet. Believe it. It's incredible what will happen. And Kelsey, it's really easy to get nostalgic and to say, oh, this is my last year. This is the last time I get to run here. Be excited. You have earned this opportunity, and this is yours to take hold of. And you've had a great career here, but you can make it that much better and focus on that. Really thrive on that point that, man, I have an opportunity here that I have earned, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. You can worry about all that nostalgia stuff later. That really doesn't matter right now. It's just about, man, I'm going to run very fast as I can, and when that point comes, I'm going to say, there's no pain at the state meet. There's no pain. I'm going to come in with that mindset. So I want you to remember this. I know I've repeated it a couple times, okay? But you guys are distance warriors, okay? I think like Spartan warriors, they trained to not feel pain. It was that crazy. And I want you, I know it sounds preposterous, man, it's going to hurt. It doesn't matter. It won't matter 5 years from now. It won't matter the day after the race, because it's worth it. It's worth it for you guys to bump up to that next level. That's the difference between a good race and a great race. And it doesn't matter if it's in high school, or if it's in college, or if it's a marathon, or if it's a test or homework that you've got to do somewhere along the line. This is a life. This is really a life application. There's no pain at the state meet. And that mentally you have to decide that I'm going to run as fast as I can, and nobody, not even my mind, is going to stop me from doing that. And I guess that concludes the speech.
Oh, right. I came in at the very end. All right. Give a round of applause. I have a quick story to tell about Sam, since he's talking about the state meet. The picture right there was the old Saddle Downs, which you know that we're going to a different place now, Samuel.
I had a picture of it.
Yeah. Oh, did you have a picture of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a new place. So obviously new experiences, new racing keys that we're going to be talking about, and we'll go over that on Friday when we get on the course, because I'm as fresh to the idea of running there as you guys are. So we're going to get down there and have an idea of what's going to happen. Quick story about Sam. Sam going into the state meet. I can honestly tell him this now, since it's not at that point anymore. Going into the state meet, my goals for him were to be in the top 50, right? Because he was running well, but it was just one of those years where there were studs everywhere, and you were going to have to run some ungodly time to be top 25. Because the year before, Vince was 30. I think Vince was 35th, and ran 16:41. Yeah, and then we went from D3, Vince ran 16:41 and was 35th, and then we changed to Division 2 the next year. Sam comes in and was having a great year, had a great junior year. Probably didn't end his junior year like he wanted to the last couple races, but he used that as fuel and as fire for his summer. We had a great summer. Going into the state meet, I said if he could be top 50, and I had a time goal, but Sam can tell you that on that day, and so can Kelsey. On that day, it was windy. It was windy.
Up to 30, maybe?
Yeah, up to 30 to 35 mile an hour winds that day, right? And I thought Sam, the time doesn't show it. Well, like I've told you guys all week, I don't care about time at this point. Okay, John Brown, if you would have told me before the race, you're going to run 17:57 and win it, I would have said great. That was awesome. I was like, I don't care if you run. What did I tell you in the warm up?